Oh, wow. I'm like, what do I do with if it's not a fan? I have
Right.
one, but like, I'm like, what do
I
I
mean,
do?
I have mine too, but
Like, sure, we're going with
you
it.
know what? We're just gonna do it.
We're just gonna. It's fine. It's fine. We're out of Pride Month, but it's fine. I haven't been spiraling for 2 days. It's fine.
It's cool.
It's fine. But welcome to the Cup Refilled, where the reality of the past becomes the tea of today. I'm Logan Murphy. I say something gay. Gay, we are drinking this gorgeous. So I'm back on my crack tea kick. We're making full gallons of it again. This is just strawberry lemonade. And it's really good. And I'm really happy with it. But if I was drinking something smaller and warmer, I would be doing it in my cup mug.
Ooh. Ooh.
Cup mug! Yes! Come on, cup mug!
Come on.
Yes, cup mug!
Burr, 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 burr. Okay.
Link in the description below to get your cup mug, among several other things, but this is the classic. So.
Oh, it's my turn.
You're the only other person here, so yes.
Hello. It's me, Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. Today is a little bit stressful for me. We won't go into detail why. So, I decided I need to drink a little bit of Mike's Heart lemonade, some strawberry heart lemonade.
Strawberry lemonade.
Period.
Strawberry lemonade. Mine is not alcoholic. I wish it was.
Mine is hard because it's just that kind of guy.
You deserve it. Period.
I also have water because a good balance is good to have. And hydration. And it's the generic water. Are we ready?
I don't have it ready.
Oh no. Well, never mind.
There we go.
Sponsored by the generic Lucy LaDuca, period.
I feel like I just always have to have it ready now, regardless of what video it is. Okay,
I think so. I think you should.
I'm not mad at it, honestly. I'm not mad. Lucy LaDuca permeating every single inch of our podcast. Yes, we are back. It is our second episode of our recap of Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. We are talking episode 3 and episode 4. It's a couple of rough episodes, Lana, if I'm being honest. It's rough.
I did not enjoy. I
enjoyed one
of them.
There are 2 moments across these 2 episodes that I fervently enjoy. And that's about it.
Oh, well, we'll talk about that.
We sure will. But we get back from Tribal Council. The heroes had just come back from Tribal. They voted out Stephanie. And we get Tom treating James like a child.
Yeah.
Like, he is just treating James like a petulant child, which he's not. And it's just like, I forget how horrible Tom is.
Right.
Like, I really honestly do. And, like, he's just like, James, you could have gone about things in a nicer way. So could you, Tom. So could you. So could Stephanie. So... fuck off.
I was Now see, this is the thing. When you're wrong, you're wrong. And I will call you out when you're wrong. It is going to be a moment in this episode where I am going to call out James for being wrong. Because just because you black and I root for everybody black, don't mean I don't call you out because you are black. So it is going to be a moment in this episode where I am going to call James out for his behavior. But this time, Tom is throwing around this bullying word again, like he bullied Stephanie into doing anything. James wasn't the only one that voted out Stephanie. The rest of them did. But you got more grace for JT, who backstabbed you and lied to you about the alliance that you were supposed to be in. James ain't never promised y'all nothing. But you mad at James for calling out Stephanie for not doing what they said they would go do in the challenge, which is to let one voice be the voice. And how he reacted to losing because he was frustrated at losing. We all get frustrated in the moments and we say things that maybe a little bit out of pocket, but it was off of frustration and being in the moment. And when she tried to defend herself and come back at him, he was supposed to not say nothing to her. And she was not supposed to, like, I didn't have no problem when she snapped back at him because when he was calling her out, she had a right to defend herself.
But there's no reason for Tom to get involved.
Tom and Kobe could have just let that be between Stephanie and James. But I understand why Kobe said something because it's like, okay, you're trying to defend. Well, okay, let's just see. This is the men and here, the white man and him to defend the white man, woman and her against.
I get it from his white man perspective,
right?
But it's not like he would have been much better off just nothing.
Let them deal with it. Be like, can we try to?
I'm not going down with that sinking ship. And guess what happened? He went down with that sinking ship.
Right. De-escalate the problem would be one thing. Like he could have just been like, hey y'all, let's try to calm down between both of y'all. Let's both calm down. Instead of going in on James, like, how dare you say something to her and she can't defend herself? No, she has every right to defend herself. But when he defends himself, he has every right to do the same thing. This is tribal council. We can go back and forth. It's conversation both ways. Jeff asked the question, he answered the question. Stephanie interjected. James came back and interjected. Like, that's what's supposed to happen. You didn't even have to say nothing and get involved in that, but you did. And then now you want to come back to Kim and want to be like, you could have handled that nicer. Who are you? Whose daddy are you? Not mine, not James. Like, who are you to tell him how to police and control his feelings? Even he said, did I handle it wrong? You could have been nicer. Why? Why does he have to be nicer? But whatever. I like I said, I get it. I understand that they felt like they should defend this woman who was being yelled at, bullied, but there was not being bullied. That was a conversation. We've seen bullying happen before on Survivor. That was not bullying. We've seen much worse.
Before and after.
And after.
And during, honestly, for that matter.
So let's not act.
Yeah.
But all right.
So
we move.
We go to the next day, and there's chickens abound on both tribes, and it's just like we get this confessional from Rupert where he's just like, our tribe just like isn't connecting. We're not strong. So what do all the guys do? They decide to just bond over killing a chicken. It's like, yeah, bro, we got that chicken. Yeah. Like, it's like, this is the straightest man activity. And I'm just like, why? For what reason? Y'all could have just killed this chicken and ate this chicken, no problem, and it would have been fine. But instead you gotta be like, yeah, bro, yeah. Like, it's, no, absolutely not. No. God. And then, meanwhile, there's this, like, the villains have set up this, like, chicken trap, and Coach is talking to Russell about the first vote, saying that Russell's relationship with Parvati is dangerous. Because Parvati is dangerous. And, you know, going back and watching this season now with the knowledge that these people had absolutely no fucking clue who Russell was, like, it changes a lot of my perspective.
It's why Russell, for me, got to where Russell ended up getting.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It's like, Russell making spoiler, final 3, makes a lot more sense now because they didn't know how dangerous he was on Samoa. They had no clue. So, for all they knew, he could have gone out first.
Right.
And then he basically did on Australian Survivor, and I lived for every moment of it. He went second, but
he thought he was everything, and he was all of that, and he was going to be Mr. Survivor all across the board. And Australia was like, absolutely not.
I just love, I just love throughout both of these episodes, you just see Coach in confessionals just lamenting over Parvati, where it's like, I'm not going to be influenced by Parvati, you know, her smile and her charisma and like pulling down her bathing suit even smaller than it already is.
Right.
But I'm not going to be influenced by that. Like, Rob might, Russell clearly is, you know, even Tyson might, but I'm not going to. I'm above it all. And I'm like,
Jerry's sitting right there. Were you not just petting her hair just a second ago?
Well, even then, you continually bringing up all of these details means that you
were watching
about this Coach.
I'm about to say, if you didn't know this was happening, you wouldn't have known it was happening. But somebody was watching Parvati very, very closely to know she inched down her little small bikini, and she was. What you stalking? You looking? Because if you wasn't looking, you wouldn't see it. But you was looking. So
yeah. And I believe it's at this point Jerry calls Parvati a virus.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
there's a reason Parv has done so well on every season she's played.
Yep.
Even Winners at War, honestly, I think Parv did a really good job. But, so, we end the night. I forgot this happened. And how much this, like, influenced everything. Russell decides, I'm going to cause drama. I'm going to hide the machete. And I was like, I forgot about this. Oh, no. Because then they go the next morning, and they get a clam. And they're, like, trying to find the machete, and no one can find the machete. And I'm just like...
So they're breaking this clam with a rock.
Literally.
Trying to break the clam with a rock. It's so... Yeah. But Randy is so, like... I'm not used to this. I found this big old clam that we could all eat off of, and everybody's acting like, no, thank you.
Since when do you turn down food on Survivor?
Right. I'm like, who does that? Like, even me.
These villains.
I'm like, I'm allergic to shellfish, but I'm hungry, so I'm going to eat it and stir up later.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No, don't do that.
Nar. I won't do it.
Let's jump back to the heroes, because I was like, oh yeah, Candace is on this show. Can you tell I don't like Candace?
Yeah.
So Candace is talking to JT about, you know, the alliance that they have formed, whatever. And Candace is like, well, I just want to make sure that Cirie feels comfortable because I just don't know about Cirie.
Mm-hmm.
And JT being, you know, I have to say, JT is a very smart Survivor player.
Yes.
Always has, always will be if there is an opportunity that he returns. But, like, he takes that information and he goes to Cirie and Amanda and just throws Candace so far under this bus. And then...
She doesn't trust you.
No. Like... Candace doesn't trust you. So Cirie goes to Candace.
It's like,
do you not trust me? And Candace is like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never said anything of the sort. And I'm just like...
And then she goes on a rampage and wants to go talk to everybody.
Like, did you tell Cirie? did you say something to Sari about me not trusting her? Because now she doesn't trust me. And I'm like, I don't know. I've never said anything like that. I'm like, girl, you just did. It's on camera.
It just
girl.
And who did you tell it to? Like, it shouldn't be so easy how she found out. Like, who was I talking to when I said I don't trust Sari? JT. Mm-hmm. JT lying to you, girl. I mean, like, because I was straight up like, so you heard that from JT? Because JT's lying, because that's not the conversation we had.
Yeah.
And I will go verbatim at what the conversation I had with him. So I'd be like, this is what I said to JT. So you know that I know who said it. Like
what I said.
I said we wanted to keep you here and keep you comfortable. That's what I said. I would leave out the part because I don't know about you, but girl, your game blown up. She knows. She's
like, there's sabotage. Who started this rumor? I'm like, the person you said that the person that you told that you weren't comfortable with Sari.
Like, how do you not know who said it, and how you go around asking everybody who said it when you know who said it? Like,
you said it, girl.
Oh, like, you said it.
My lord,
so annoying. So annoying.
Let's go to the challenge.
Yes, please.
Oh boy. So it's become kind of a classic, the sumo wrestling challenge with the bag.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just a blowout.
It was just embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
It was embarrassing.
You know who I did think stood a good chance in this challenge? Sandra.
Didn't
she sit out?
Yeah, she sat out.
That's why. Like, Sandra stood a good shot because she sat out. But you know who did very, very well, and I was really happy to see it? Suri Fields. I was like, you better get that point, Suri. You better. Yes. And so we're playing to 8. It is 7-0 heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And the final matchup. Now, this is where I'm like, what the fuck? The final matchup ends up being James and Randy. And Randy is just being disgusting, in my personal opinion, being like, you're gonna beat up an old man. You're gonna beat up an old man. Y'all could have said in any other fucking round there was a man.
Right. Why would you wait
any other round? It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Just because y'all left Randy to last,
that's your fault.
Doesn't mean that James should be taking it easy on Randy.
Right.
So the round starts. Randy lifts up his bag to go hit James, and James just goes,
boom! And it's over.
As he should.
I mean, yeah. Like, I did agree with that. I was like, please. That was embarrassing for the Villians to lose that bad. And Randy trying to goad James into taking it easy. That's what you were trying to do. Like,
you're going to beat up an old man? Yeah, he did.
Yes, I am, because that's
it's
the nature of the competition.
For not putting Randy in against, I don't know, Tom.
Tom, you saw who was going up. I'm like, okay, Randy, you're going against Tom, even though you still would have got annihilated because Tom is way stronger than you. So
even Colby or Rupert, like why?
Rupert would have been a better choice. Like, seriously.
Even honestly, JT. Any other man would have been a more fair matchup.
I'm about to say, your tribe set you up.
Literally.
Your tribe set you up.
You should be mad at your tribe for not putting you in earlier, and them being smart enough to save James for what could be the last round.
That makes sense. Like, there was nothing. It was so stupid. I was like, please don't do that. Don't try to make him look like the bad guy because he was quote unquote beating up an old man. Now
he didn't beat up an old man. He just pushed the old man off.
But I will say this, James. Mm-hmm. James was a little over the top. He ain't have to be like, after the fact, after you won, just celebrate your win. You ain't got to keep taunting and
You
get
have to
your
throw the bag.
right.
He threw the bag onto Randy. I was like, oh Jesus, okay.
I mean that's the part of celebrating, I guess. But
I
like,
mean, I'm gonna safely assume, because I don't think James would purposely throw it on Randy, even though Randy was being a piece of shit to him. I don't think James would intentionally do it. I feel like James was just trying to throw it in the mud and it landed on Randy. I don't know. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt in that situation.
I think he
But I
threw
do
it on
agree.
him on purpose. I think he threw it on him on purpose because it was like, I pushed you out, yeah, and take that too.
I'm gonna
like,
give him the benefit of the doubt because I like James.
I like James. I do, but I just
the excessive taunting, though, I do agree with
it
you.
was the aftermath. It was the once
And then-
you got back on the podium, and then they told me, I knew you were on the wrong side, James.
Of all fucking people to talk, it's Courtney.
Like, girl, bye. Like,
Girl,
he was
where?
They were excited that they won. They have been to tribal council twice.
They have not won a challenge.
They were excited that they won, and then they beat you dominantly. Like, it was no question how bad they beat you. So, yeah, they were excited. But
yeah.
So
the heroes win. The villains are going to tribal for the first time. And I mean, honestly, this whole pre-tribal discussion is kind of a moot point. Like, it's just all of the same points that have been brought up previously.
Mm-hmm.
Randy is the weakest person on the tribe. Parvati is incredibly dangerous. What are we gonna do here?
Right.
This I do love. We get another one of our several mentions throughout her Survivor career of Miss Sandra Diaz-Twine saying, anybody but me?
Anybody but me?
I don't care who it is, anybody but me. I'm like, yes, Sandra. Because I forget how kind of, and I'm not saying this is a negative thing, but kind of how insignificant Sandra is in the pre-merge of Heroes versus Villains. Mm-hmm. I forget that a lot. Because obviously,
mm-hmm.
she wins. But like, I was like, oh yeah, you are not featured whatsoever really in the first 4 episodes. And most of that is because the villains win 3 of those 4 episodes, so I understand it. But I'm just like, oh yeah, you are not the focal point of this early game at all. But yeah, so it's coming down to, are we voting Parvati? Are we voting Randy?
Right.
And then we get this monologue, crossfade moment from Coach as we're going to tribal. And he's just like, I will not compromise. I will fight for Randy until the end. That is my man. I am going to stand with him. I am going to work for him until the last possible moment that I can. You want to know what happens, audience? It's a 9-1 vote.
That was the most that he could do. That was it in that moment. That was as far as he could take Randy.
If you're going to say you're going to do every single thing you can for Randy,
absolutely did not. Don't vote for him.
You're not going to vote out Randy.
I was so over Coach in this moment, and then when the votes came in, I was like, "You are just fake AF." Like, I cannot. I would have. Oh my god! If I was Randy, I wouldn't talk to him to this day because you did all that just to vote me out for no reason at all. You could have been a 9 or 8-2 vote. Like, you could have gave me
8 to 1-1.
Like, some sympathy, kind of like just not vote for me. But no,
literally,
you're a moron. Ugh, I couldn't. Coach just does not do anything for me at all.
Nope.
At all.
Nope. And bye, Randy. Moving on, episode 6, episode 4.
Yes.
We go back, and we're back at the villains camp.
Ugh.
Oh God! So at Tribal, Sandra had made a comment about Coach, and Coach Coach just turns into a beaten puppy dog. And it's just like, I want to leave. I want to leave. Harkening back to episode 3, we didn't really talk about it. After the Stephanie vote out, Colby's talking to Tom, and Colby's like, well, I want to leave. And I'm like, okay, bye.
Bye.
There's the
all
door.
These people who say it, they want to leave, just go.
There are so many other people that would absolutely love a second or third chance at Survivor. Bye. Goodbye.
Because something ain't going your way, you want to leave.
Literally. I'm like, bye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye. But in this moment, I was also like, okay, bye, Coach. Bye. Goodbye.
Same.
And Tyson, being a lovely human, is just like, I'm going to be honest with you. Don't do the things you've been doing because people are making fun of you. They don't respect you. And I'm like, yeah.
They don't.
About right. So we go to the next morning, and Rob is basically just like, what the fuck are you doing, Coach? Like, why are you doing this? What are you doing? And it's just like, no, you're not at the bottom. You're fine.
Right.
And Coach is like, well, why is it that you only want to bond with me when we're getting ready for challenges?
What do you want me to do? Be up your nuts?
Literally, do you want me to be hanging off of your arm every moment of the damn day?
Like, get over yourself. I got things to do. I'm playing Survivor here. Sorry, can't be up under you all day. Other people I gotta talk to. Like, get out of here.
Literally.
People are weird.
Just like, ugh. But I forget also that in the early seasons, we have Sears catalogs being brought to the island.
Oh, lovely.
For the reward.
Okay.
Pick your own reward.
Great.
So we go to the reward challenge. We find out that the villains chose a toolkit, a tarp, and some twine because they want to build a new shelter. The heroes are playing for a full fishing kit and like stuff to make like better food. And the challenge is sliding down a runway, grabbing a specific numbered ball, and then throwing it into a hoop. I just want to talk about James covered in oil for the next 30 minutes, Lana. I don't even care. I don't even care.
I mean, it was a sight to see.
They let that man looking like that on national television.
I mean, when you have...
I'm not mad about it. Let me make that very clear, but...
Oil definitely does something to some melanated skin. And it was just glistening in the sunlights of... What, Samoa are we in?
Somewhere in the South Pacific.
But glistening...
It might have actually been Samoa.
But glistening in the sunlight of Samoa with all of that oil on that ripped, toned body of that man, of that 6 foot something of another man.
Probably 4, I would say.
But it was, yeah. I wasn't mad at that.
In the single most revealing pair of spandex shorts he could be wearing. I'm like, sir. Sir. Okay, then. Respectfully,
I appreciated that.
I'm looking. Respectfully.
I appreciated this moment. There we go. Let us continue, Logan. Please stop fanning and just talk about this now, please.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm going to continue. No. Yeah, so, I mean, it's a very close challenge.
Yes.
It comes down, it comes down to Tyson and Colby.
I think so, yes.
I think so. I watched this episode earlier today. I should remember. I believe it comes down to Tyson and Colby. And the villains win. Good for you. Good for you.
Good for you.
And they go back to camp. They start opening their stuff. And Russell picks up the knife that's in the toolkit and just dislodges it. And all of a sudden, a clue to an immunity idol just falls out in front of the whole tribe. And I do remember this is the start of those seasons where they started doing this kind of thing. I think they had started it in Samoa, or they had started it in Heroes versus Villains or something like that, where they're just hiding it in rewards. But yeah, so everybody gets the clue, and Sandra is like, well, if anyone goes looking for the idol, we're gonna vote them out at the next tribal. Easy as that. Lana, please don't die. Please. And then Russell is like, well, I'm gonna go find it anyway. I'm like, okay, work. So Rob then sends Sandra to go look for Russell. And Sandra's just like, he's going to find it. Y'all already know. Like,
I mean, come on. Who ain't gonna go find it when they didn't drop the clue in front of everybody? Literally. I would have went to look for it too. It's just maybe a little bit more covertly than Russell, but I would have went look for it though.
And that brings me to, I think, my favorite quote of the episode, where Rob says, Russell's a bonehead. He's like the Hobbit on crack. Yeah?
Yeah. But y'all let him go.
Yeah. And then cinematic parallels. We go to the next morning over at the Heroes, and we find out that they have a clue as well hidden in their coffee that they got from the last challenge. It took y'all 3 days to find that clue.
Right. How far was this clue in this coffee?
Did y'all just not drink the coffee? Y'all clearly drank the coffee because y'all apparently all slept very well. So, but it just gets pulled out. It's not the whole tribe, but Tom is there. Tom, I think, is the one that pulls it. Amanda's there. Cerie's there. James is there. I think Candace was... whatever. And ultimately Tom finds the idol. And Amanda fully clocks that Tom finds the idol. And it's just like, yeah, Tom's acting funny. So
work. I like him. See, I like Amanda. I'm just gonna say this.
I love Amanda Kimmel. One of my favorites ever.
I mean, I like Amanda. This is
except when she voted out Cerie. But you know.
But whatever.
We'll forgive her for that.
Maybe. I like Amanda.
She was trying to win $1 million, and it was a lose-lose situation.
I get it.
So I get it.
Okay, sure. But yeah, I liked Amanda in this episode. Well, at this part of the episode, and I was like, "Yeah, girl, clock his T because I don't like him. If it's not obvious." Tom is my least favorite person on this entire season. I would rather deal with Sugar before I deal with Tom.
Oh, gladly deal with Sugar over most.
I would rather deal with Coach before I deal with Tom.
Honestly, my bottom two are it's a tough race for bottom between Tom and Randy, and Randy's gone, thankfully. So
yeah. I mean, I didn't like Randy either, but I think if I was picking between the two, I would rather deal with Randy than I would deal with Tom. I just don't like Tom. But okay. Work.
Yeah. Well, so Tom finds it. He goes and tells Colby, and they're like, "Oh my God, we have an idol."
I was like, who is this we? I have an idol. Are you speaking French over here? We are not we. See, this is why people talk too much. I would never tell anybody I have an idol. Never.
I know. Well, remember, Tom is playing this game with honor and respect.
And I have to honor and respect Colby and tell him about my idol. I can honor and respect him and not tell him about the idol. What is that? What does the honor have to do with telling
They're on
Colby?
the bottom together. I guess I understand it. I wouldn't have done it, but so
Moving along.
next day. We're at day 11. We are at the immunity challenge, and it's the blindfold, roll you in a ball, and then table maze, but make it bigger.
They've been doing this challenge for so long. It's still not fun to watch for me. Like I
And the
still,
first one was Samoa, and it
yeah.
literally ended in a medical situation. So I'm like, I still don't like this challenge. I'm not a fan of it. But it comes down to Rob and Tom are being the callers for the table maze, and it literally comes down to seconds. And the villains pull it off. Rob does. This is one of those moments that I'm gonna praise Rob. I don't always praise Rob. Go check out our last review where I kind of dug into him for about 5 minutes. But this is where I'm gonna praise Rob, because he just does a really good job of, being the caller, staying cool under pressure, recognizing that it's a very close situation, but still like giving clear orders and doing a really great job as a caller. So villains win. Heroes are going to tribal, and I mean there's the obvious 6-person alliance with Tom and Colby on the bottom. And it's pretty common knowledge that someone has an idol, probably, between the two of them. So they decide they're going to split the votes 3-3 on Tom and Colby. If everything had stayed the way it was supposed to stay, that's a foolproof plan.
Mm-hmm. But things don't always go the way it's planned now, does it?
No. No.
I'm very upset about this episode, by the way. So if you all see that I am not engaging a lot in this conversation, it's because I am not. I don't like it. I didn't want to, and watching it made me very sad. And I'm just like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed.
I mean, I agree. But so Amanda and JT have a conversation, and they agree that they don't trust Candace.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to talk to Tom, and Tom is trying to convince JT and Amanda to keep him and Colby in the game over Suri and Candace. And Amanda ends up basically saying she trusts Tom at this point more than Candace. So Amanda goes to Suri later on and relays that conversation. And Suri is just like, why are we? And then eventually the entire alliance shows up, and it's just like, Suri is just like, why are we taking out Candace? This makes no sense. Like, yeah, she's wary of me, but Tom and Colby are huge threats.
Right.
And unfortunately for Suri, she's doing this just a little bit too loud.
Mm-hmm.
And JT is watching and notices that Suri has changed everybody's mind again. So JT goes to Tom and tells Tom that Suri is now masterminding everything, which is not the case. It's literally, it is the farthest thing from the case. JT just happened to walk up at a moment where Suri is like, I don't understand why we're doing this, and just asking a genuine question of the group,
Right.
not trying to necessarily sway anyone's opinion one way or the other, but is literally just like, why are we doing this? It doesn't make sense to me. But if y'all want to do it, okay, but it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And obviously JT knows about the plan to split the vote. So this is the perfect opportunity
Yep.
for JT to make a move. And I guess the only person we can make a move against are Black people.
Because she's the mastermind, of course. Why
Because
not?
she asked a question.
She
I
asked
mean,
a question.
Sari is a great Survivor player. So
Mhm.
I can't say that all of this is out of a place of ignorance towards the way that Sari plays, because she is an exceptional Survivor player.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm not gonna go there. I wasn't gonna say they did it because she's a Black woman mastermind. Blah blah blah.
I'm
No.
saying Tom
Tom
specifically.
Tom has had a hard on for Sari since he got there, so it was just kind of like he wanted Sari gone the second he walked on the beach.
Well,
And I
and
feel
the
like
two, and it's, I mean, it seems a little convenient that the two people he is going after first happen to be the only two Black people on this tribe.
right.
I'm just gonna say that. But
This move from JT, I can't
I can't fault
blame him
No.
because Sari is an amazing, phenomenal Survivor player. She made it to the end both times, or all the other times she's been
Both
playing.
of the previous times at this point,
Right.
she made final 3 and then final 4.
Right. And
so
he's not wrong
no.
for saying Sari's a great player. Tom is not wrong for not wanting Sari to last in the game because she has connections on both sides and she's just a great player. Not wrong for doing the game moves. And so I get it. I don't like it, but I get it.
Unfortunate.
It's so sickening that is the case, and it has to be on Sari's neck to get this mastermind edit when she really didn't do anything but ask a question like, why are we voting out Candace? Like literally asked a question, and JT took that and ran with it. That makes JT a smart player because he took out a big threat that could probably take him out later the longer they let her in. But it's still just I hate it because I love Sari so much. I think Sari Fields is my ultimate and favorite Survivor player ever. And she's the best player to never win this game. And I love her so much. So I'm like, I don't even, and yes, this happened a long, long time ago, and I shouldn't feel so passionate and emotional about this. But I do, and I love Sari so much. And I love the fact that she was on the Traitors and won the Traitors because I was
gonna say we're living in a 2023 timeline where Sari finally, 15 plus years after starting on Panama, finally got the recognition that she is entitled to.
Most people I don't say are entitled to this, but Sari Fields is entitled to winning something that is of a strategic game. And she won Traitors by using her brain, getting people to trust her, and she flat out murked that game. Was nobody gonna beat her. And it was evident halfway through, like she is gonna kill this game. So yes, I'm very happy that Sari finally got the recognition she is entitled and deserves. But I still hated this moment watching it because I was like,
she doesn't make merge.
Only time. And I'm like, what? A merge without Sari? When Sari is in the game? It's weird. It's wrong. I hated it. But yes, I did get very emotional about this moment, so I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I completely agree with you. Sari is my favorite Survivor player of all time. That will probably never change. There are a lot of people that have gotten close to that level for me, but I don't think anyone will eclipse Sari just on how incredible she is. For me, honestly, I think Parvati's up there. I really love the way that Parvati plays the game, and it's just so unapologetically her.
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, of the people that kind of get up there for me, I also I think of everybody here who would be the 3. It would honestly be Sari, Parvati, And I'm gonna be honest, Marianne.
Yeah.
Like those are the three players for me that just like they just do it for me. And like if there's a Winners at War 2, eventually we all know Marianne's gonna be on that season, and I'm very excited to see her play anything. I'm like, Marianne for Traders, genuinely think that would be incredible. But you were saying.
You want to know what I love about Parvati? And like Parvati is not like one of the my top favorites of Survivor of all time, but she is a favorite. And this is what I like about Parvati. Parvati is just, she knows exactly what she's doing. She knows that straight men are weak. And all it takes is a few little smiles and giggles and batting of the eye and ego brushing, and they will do anything for you. And it's like you stroke their ego enough, they will literally take you to the end of the game with them. And it was like, sure, people saw how much of a threat. They saw it in the last episode, was talking about it. Immensely, just talking about to nausea, like just going on and on and on about how Parvati is cancer and the virus and the threat and how, but she just have to do very little. She used the assets that she was given her by God. She's a pretty girl with a beautiful body, and she puts on her 2 small bikinis, and she strut around that beach, and she smiled at these little boys, and she got them eating out the palm of her hands, and she don't even have to apologize for it. She's just like, I'm just an innocent little girl. I'm just an innocent girl, just doing what I do. And I love it. I love you doing what you got to do to make sure you can get what needs to be done. And if you fall for the tricks, that's on you, not on her. And I'm like, that's what I'm like, is she a villain? I wouldn't call her a villain, honestly. I just feel like she's just a good player. And y'all don't know how to handle her. Like most people don't know how to handle women who are confident and strong and secure in themselves in these games. They don't know how to handle them. So they call them a villain, or they're a B, or they just, they have no morals, no scruples, and they dog women. But Parvati is Parvati unapologetically. And I give nothing but respect to her game. All the time she's played it, she changed nothing. She did the same thing. And y'all watched her do it. And then you let her come on this season and you let her do it again. Yeah. Whose fault is that? Not hers.
No.
I appreciate it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yeah, Parv for me is just, I've always been so impressed with the way she plays, and I feel like every time she played was so fundamentally different, but always still Parvati. And like for me, the gameplay that I was kind of the most impressed with, and maybe eventually we'll do this season for Refilled, and I would like to do it, is when she was on Winners at War. And the way that she manipulated herself in the Edge of Extinction, honestly, for me, is like some of my favorite Parvati gameplay, because it wasn't based on all of that like sexuality stuff. She had come back because she hadn't been on since this season. She had been off the show for 20 seasons. And so coming back and like sort of having a completely different mindset, because 10 years had passed? Something like that.
Right.
I enjoyed Parvati. But Cirie, we love Cirie. Eventually, I feel like we need to do Game Changers as well, just for the Cirie of it all.
Right.
I don't love that season on a whole, but the Cirie of it all, I feel like we should. But let us know in the comments below. We are working our way through Heroes versus Villains, but what seasons do you want us? We're not anywhere close to being done with this season, but what seasons would you like us to cover next? I mean, I have a couple in mind. I'm going to throw them out here. I mean, I said Winners at War, Game Changers. I would like to do Fiji, because I think Fiji is a very underrated season. And I know, Lana, you enjoy Fiji very much. We have a very
did.
good friend of ours, friend of the pod, who is a very big fan of Fiji, Miss Gia Worthy. So maybe we'll get her on to do Fiji. I would also like to do San Juan del Sur just because it might be my favorite Survivor season. But let us know what you want us to cover. I'm really enjoying doing this refilled situation for Survivor. And any excuse to go back and watch Survivor is fine with me. So thank you for joining us for Outwit Wednesday. Obviously, this is the middle of our week of all the uploads. So go check out our Project Runway reviews that
Make
are
it work
dropping.
Monday.
Make it work
Monday.
Tune in for Outwit Wednesday here, talking about Survivor Heroes vs. Villains, and Friday talking about Claim to Fame, Famous Family Friday. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Cup Pod for all of the fun moments and your most up-to-date Cup news. Follow both of us because we're fun. Twitter might be dying, but we're still fun. You can tell when we're filming this episode. Get your merch.
Please.
Get your merch below. And with that, cheers, Lana.
Cheers. Cheers.
Goodbye now.
Bye.
Goodbye now.
Cerie Fields, you're a queen.
Cerie Fields is an icon.
A legend.
A diva.
We love you.